welcome back. This is the AM show. Now, planning 2022. There's so many different schools of thought about the new year. Is it a good time to make new resolutions? Is it a good time to decide on what to do? Is it a good time? Are we full of emotions and just, feeling so optimistic? How realistic are our goals? Are we making goals? Should we be making goals? And what should we be doing at the new year apart from overeating, which you shouldn't be doing, or just maxing out in the gym, which is not sustainable? So finding the balance, new year, new goals, new lease of life, all of that. But how do we do it properly, sustainably, and consistently? This morning, Doreen Bafo, CEO of Branch Out Africa, is joining us, and she's going to take us through a successful planning of 2022 for a successful implementation of 2022 for a successful review of 2022 in December. So that's the conversation that we're having. So good morning, Doreen.
Good morning, anyone.
Good to see you.
Good morning, Matt.
And of course, Maps will be here. And so Maps says this morning, right? Maps, I'm throwing you under the bus.
Okay, what did I say?
This morning that... Okay, I am really throwing her under the bus because that's not actually what she said. Let's say she said that, usually people would wait till April, May to kind of start to make resolutions or decide what to do because you need to feel the year a little bit. That's what Maps said.
That's what I said.
Yes.
January, we just got back from the holidays. We're taking it easy. We're trying to settle. So March, April is just like, okay, the year has now started.
And when does it end for you?
And it will end January.
Okay.
You see?
But it's still 1 year if you think about it.
Yeah.
Can you keep a secret though?
Can I? Anyone, can I?
Yes, yeah.
I can.
Good,
I can.
I often start mine in the third week of Jan.
See the thing.
But third week of January and March, April, very
worlds apart.
But I think I don't agree with the March, April. I think it's two things. Either you're not going to do anything at all, which I've done some years, and just let life happen.
Yeah.
Or straight from the get-go, when there is that vim and that to kind of plunge into it, and then kind of like, okay, this is what I want to do, and then. Maybe not necessarily start immediately, but have the plan.
In the first week of January.
And then pray for the grace to implement.
And I think there are no hard and fast rules. I know people who start when it's their birthdays. So for instance, you have someone in August and say it's an opportunity for a brand new year. So then they start that conversation.
Yeah.
So I think the most important thing is to actually have that conversation with yourself. Yeah. And it's always in two parts. It's to reflect and then to set goals. So you reflect to say, okay, what's the year been like?
So when people say have a conversation with yourself,
I
know how I have conversations with myself. I lie down and I speak out loud so when I'm driving. Okay. But how do you have when you say reflect, like it sounds very deep, but I know people are like,
what? Yeah.
What
are we doing? How are we talking to ourselves?
What are we doing? Yeah.
And I think it's as different as our personalities come.
Okay.
So I like to write it out. Even when I type, as interesting as it gets, I want to have my pen and a journal or a book and actually write. There's something about that for me. I think it's behavior. As a young girl growing up, when I needed to get deep into lessons or insights I had learned, I would write. And I think just being with myself allowed me to do that. But I've also met people who necessarily have to sit with someone, and have that conversation to say, okay, what's it been like? What are you going to do? And there's some evidence to suggest that for those people, the moment they share with others, the commitment to follow through is greater than when they did it on their own. Yeah. So I think it's understanding how you want to do this so that we're not putting people in certain rules and boxes. Yeah, it's what works for you.
But there's something that worried me. I think it was last year. So I was reading on sharing your goals and visions. And I'm not sure if you've seen this piece of work, but some research had been done and it's okay. English is gone for New Year. It hasn't come back.
Say it right.
The conclusion of the study was that when you have a goal or a dream and you tell someone, the satisfaction from sharing it with someone it's the same signals in your brain that it registers when you have achieved it.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when you share your goals and your dreams with someone, your brain interprets as we've achieved this, and so your motivation levels go down. Okay. So I kind of started to stop. I kind of stopped sharing, your goals and goals.
Yeah.
Are you aware of this?
No, I'm not aware of the study, but
okay.
The conversations on how the brain works and studies into that continue. And so I'm hearing this for the first time.
Okay.
It's quite interesting that you mentioned that. And I guess that's where tapping into your personal power comes.
Yeah.
Discipline, commitment, knowing what's your truth right now. The truth is sometimes and I give you a personal example. When my kids were much younger, and I was a corporate, the real or the definition of a corporate woman. So you'd wake up at dawn, rush through all of that. There was a time that I needed to stop and take a decision on what works for me in my career, what dreams to chase, because at that time, my truth, my true north, or what was real for me was very different from the other ladies that were journeying together. For them, it was okay to go chase particular things. I used to have a dream or a job that takes me around the world, but at a certain stage in my life, my truth would not let me do that. Yeah. And I think it's coming to terms with that to say, where am I at now and what works for me? And that said, even when you say, these are the things, these are the outcomes I seek, what are the steps to getting you there? Yeah. And I think it's, for me, depending on your knowledge of yourself and what what level you are when it comes to tapping into your personal power, either doing it by yourself, having a support group, for instance, people on the same journey, like a professional network that challenges you, or sometimes it's actually somebody in your personal life, so like a spouse, if you have a teenage daughter.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that one. Yeah.
I know. Those ones can really keep you accountable, because if you think about it, and back to that same research, in our corporate lives, at the beginning of the year, we set our strategic objectives. These are the things we want to achieve. If we're taking that research at face value, it will be, okay, then once we state it and we go on that corporate retreat, it's done. But that's when the work actually begins. That's when the leaders now begin to have conversations with the team to say, okay, because we want to go here this year, or this destination this year, what must happen in your space on a monthly basis to make these things happen? And I think as individuals, there's some lesson in there for us as well, to say, okay, at the end of the year, this is what I want to see happen in my life. Yeah. But based on that, what are the things that I must begin to do? What works to get me there?
How do we move from a mindset of we just want to survive? Because for the past 2 years, that's all it's been. We just want to survive, especially because of COVID-19, especially the year before, the one that we've just exited, because so many people were dying and we didn't know what the virus looked like and all of that. So you find that a lot of people are still in that mode that, I just want to survive, I just want to make it through the day. But that's not really an achieving mode.
Is it not?
Is it? I mean, is it? Because
they're alive.
No, you know what I mean. I mean, in terms of staying alive, it's like, okay, I'm staying alive, but then
that's all I'm doing.
That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
So in terms of pushing through to the next, how do we shift from that mindset? And in a way, yes, it is a goal, but it also gave us a certain, like Map said this morning, a certain laxity, because it's like, well, I just want to survive this, so I'm not going to work out. I just want to survive this, so hey, I'm going to spend all my money because chalet, nobody knows tomorrow. You know, how do we shift from that? Because obviously, like we're still alive, and the pandemic is still what it is, and we're moving forward. So how do we shift from that mindset to a mindset where we're able to plan and have goals and achieve?
And it's interesting that you asked that, because for me, yes, and I think the pandemic did do a lot of good if you think about it. On one side, there was quite a lot of devastation, and my deepest condolences to everybody who lost someone. I think all of us knew somebody, and we,
of course,
yes, so my deepest condolence. But I think that at a point, after we began to focus on, I think we began to focus on what really mattered.
Yeah.
Conversations with dear ones. Yeah. Checking in and up on each other.
Spending quality time.
Absolutely, because suddenly we all felt that we understood what it meant to have limited time. And so we began to focus on that area. I saw people who began to make very great lifestyle choices, like eating right or healthy. And then for the first time, when I looked through my window, I actually saw more people than I had ever seen taking walks in the morning and evenings. And sometimes with people, I surmise are their loved ones, going together.
Yeah.
So I think it forced us in one way, if we look at it, to focus on what really mattered then. And again, back to mind conversations. I think we have such a powerful operating system that even when you say to yourself, I'm just in survival mode, sometimes when you stand in the mirror and you observe your current circumstance, you're like, no, but Doreen, beyond survival, X needs to be done. I mean, fees will still be paid.
Yeah.
I still do need to eat healthy, and to have a healthy lifestyle comes with some. You need to pay for some of those things, you know. So then, how do I make that happen? And when you begin to feel that personal dissatisfaction with your current state of being in a particular area, then it's your mind's feedback telling you it's time to take action.
It's time to move. Yeah.
So for me, I like to tune into that mind conversation to say, and we all have it, actually, we do.
Yeah.
We all do have those conversations with ourselves. Sometimes, even with the young people in your life, it's like, I'm not happy, I'm bored. Their mind is giving them the feedback on. And so it's to have that conversation to say,
I don't understand when my children say I'm bored. Like, what does that mean? You're bored how? How are you bored? You have no problems, you're not paying any bill. Like, yeah, how are you bored?
but don't they have problems? I mean, cast our minds back to when we were teenagers. I mean, you felt like there were things I thought I should be able to do. And then in came my mom, Janet,
To come in. I'm bored means I don't have data.
Yeah, but what, don't worry about different things. You know? I saw a video of a 2-year-old who says, "Mom, is the Wi-Fi working? This is not, my video is not playing." I'm like,
yeah. My son does it all the time to me, like, "Mommy, the internet's working." I'm like, "Am I a telco?" I don't understand. Like,
"Your mommy, you're the magician."
No.
Yeah. You make everything possible.
You do.
All right, so we're done reflecting. Now we're going to 2022, third week when we're setting our goals. Take us through that.
We're not in the third week of...
No, I'm saying mentally, you know, mentally when we're setting our goals.
Max is determined to chill on this.
Of course. Okay. Right now, I'm not setting any goals. I'll set them at the end of the month, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is...
I challenge you. I think that she probably has said something already.
Don't mind her, from last year.
It's like, oh, for this month or this week. I think that is because we say to ourselves, what must happen in 2022?
Yeah.
But I dare say that even before we step out of the house, a lot of us have a plan on what I want to make happen today. You know, so sometimes even before you step out, there are groceries to be paid. Who is picking this?
You kind of make a mental plan in your head of.
And if you put
day.
all of that together, it's driving you towards something that you actually do want to happen. You know, so maybe we don't. We're looking at it from a very structured point of view.
Yeah,
but we actually do.
Subliminally, we do.
We do.
Okay. So you have something for us. You're going to tell us how to do this, right?
Yes. How would you want us to do? Would you want us to go through the reflective questions and go to planning 2022? Or
No, let's do the reflective.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, and I'm going to share from a very personal space how I do mine.
Okay.
So that it's and there are many ways to do it. People do this differently. And for me, I typically will start with grabbing my journal and a pen. But for those who would take notes on any note-taking device, they're welcome to do that as well. I often say get yourself a warm drink.
Okay.
Yeah. Some like to take a walk before it. But I say get comfortable. Sit in a place that you're very comfortable. You know?
So it has to be intentional.
Intentional.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the word.
Because it's already sounding like work.
No, but
is it?
Well, yeah. I mean,
see the differences in personality.
Like, is it?
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to look for a journal. Like, okay, so I don't have a journal, so I'm not going to buy one.
Or you can use your phone.
My phone, I don't like typing on my phone.
What do you like to? Where do you store all the data?
In my head. Okay. Except that as the years are going, you find that the thing.
Or you can use a recorder. Because you like to talk a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can use a recorder, you know?
You can use a recorder.
Yeah?
You can.
You can.
You can.
Like just speak into give
make it
yourself a
happen.
lecture. Then it means that you play back every
play
so often.
back.
Oh, I think I like the sound of that. That's yeah. You see, good friends who know you. Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, I think all we're saying is personalize it, make it work for you.
Yeah.
Because I've heard someone say that their deepest reflective moments are when they take a walk. But I also know someone who says, you know that drive, especially when you have little children.
Yeah, you go in and shut the door.
Yeah.
Me time. Yeah.
But someone also said to me that, and she was very specific. She says, you know that drive from Winneba to Anumabo.
Okay, that's a very specific.
That's a very, yeah.
Okay.
You know, and she's like, you drive slowly. You can't be bothered about the traffic.
Yeah.
And you just take it all in. I'm like, really? Okay. So all we're saying is make it personal to you. Do what works for you as you get through that. And I always start my reflective moments with a prayer of gratitude. And when I do it in a team, I say, let's have a prayer circle. You know. So then one person starts it with one sentence of gratitude. Maybe we should try that.
Okay.
Sure, why not? Yeah, okay.
All right, so I'll start that where I'll start and then we'll go to
Maps.
okay, I'm left-handed, so we'll go to maps.
Okay, sure.
And then we come to a new
Yeah.
one. And then it's a circle, so it ends with me.
Okay.
All right, so I say, Dear Lord Father, thank you for the gifts of life and the breath that flows inside me. It was your first gift to me at creation, and I'm thankful that I still have it.
All right, dear Lord Father, thank you for the gift of my mom, her support system throughout these past years. Yeah.
Okay, dear Lord Father, thank you for the gift of family and the gift of strength and your presence, which has been with me always.
Yeah, and thank you, Father, for an opportunity like this to share a reflective walk with a wider audience so that together we can learn, grow, and be better for each other. This is our prayer in Jesus' name.
Amen.
That's very.
I love it.
That's very calm.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So if you, I mean, once you have more than one person, you can just have that conversation.
Yeah.
It's just, there's something about gratitude.
There
Yeah.
is.
It makes everything enough.
It makes you want to cry.
That's just like, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so once we're done with the prayer of gratitude, then we go into, again, but still on gratitude, but now we go deeper. So we've thanked our Maker for life. But and I'm just going to be sharing questions that people can note, and later, if it's possible, they can go back to these questions.
Okay.
But one of my favorite reflective questions are 5 things that I feel grateful for.
Can I have this when you're done?
Absolutely.
I'd love
Yeah.
so that we can actually do it
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we can share it with the audience. I mean,
Okay.
5 things that you feel grateful for. And this can be an experience, it can be an event, it can be with people or thing. What are those 5 things that in the current period you feel really, really grateful for?
Okay.
Then we move quick.
So this is the reflective stage.
This is the
You're
reflective
just-
stage.
okay.
Yeah, I'm just
And you
sharing
can do
questions.
this often.
Yes, you can. You
Okay.
can. You can do that, especially with gratitude.
Yeah.
I know people who keep a gratitude journal. Especially people going through one, either they're experiencing self-issues or they're going through early stages of not feeling enough or some sorry. Gratitude helps with that. So those are the gratitude questions that we can.
Okay. What 5 things do you feel grateful for?
Absolutely. And then there's another one that I like. What negative outcomes did you avoid, escape, or prevent, or turn into something positive? So still on gratitude. What are those things for you in 2021 that you avoided or turned into something positive?
Okay.
And
That's
then,
a great. That's a really great question. Yeah.
and so you see that once you think about this question, you can actually record to say, yeah, in March, in May, and
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And so back on gratitude, so we're going through our reflective questions. I'll go to a quote from the author William Arthur Ward. And William says, feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present.
And not giving it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So after
You are getting us very emotional this morning.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
so still on gratitude as
Okay.
I reflect. So the moment this comes to mind, I go to the people I owe gratitude for the year.
Okay.
So who are those people that I know I owe gratitude that I haven't given?
Okay.
Like I've wrapped the gifts, but I haven't delivered.
I have to give, yeah.
So I either make a call, and often I make a list so that I don't forget. So I make a call, I send text messages.
Yeah.
Now the visits are limited, but often when you go, otherwise if you went to them and you say, and if the person is really a personal person, is to go and say, anyway, you know, when we had that conversation, it was a life-changing conversation for me. I say thank you.
Yeah.
And there's something about what it does to a relationship and to you.
Of course.
Yeah, and so
when you show gratitude, I get that. I started doing that. I think 3 years ago. At the end of every year, I'll buy a few cards, and then I would just write a note. So I would always, at the end of the year, look back on the people that have made the most.
you see, you're already doing it.
Yeah, the most impact, and then and then say thank you. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the other reflective questions, and we're just going to run through them. I like this one in particular. He says,
Jesus, Lord, hallelujah.
what do you need to set free? What do you need to let go of? You know? I like the who one.
The who one. The who one.
Often, I have realized that sometimes the person doesn't even know, and you're carrying it.
Yeah.
You know, and there are two conversations on this. Sometimes you do genuinely know that even going to have a liberating conversation with this person won't work.
Yeah.
Yet you're holding on to this, and the conversation keeps popping in your head, and you know, and all the time it's you, and you're walking around really free. When I do my reflective sessions, I ask myself that question: who do I really need to set free? If there's anyone like that, to say, okay, what do I want to do? Do I want to go have that liberating conversation that says, anymore? I value our relationship so much, and so I feel that I need to say this to you. When we had that conversation I felt really angry. I felt disrespected. And I thought I would let you know, because I really want this relationship to continue. What would really be helpful when we have conversations or when you want to give me feedback is to... So I made it I
was just going to comment on the fact that you use that strategy. Yeah, you're using that.
It's
the
I feel.
Yeah.
And then I gift them a positive reaction that I want back. So it's not like, next time don't do this, don't do that. That has happened. But I felt, I feel. And then I say that positive outcome that I'm seeking from them when that happens the next time, so that at least they know what it is that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But for some, I know that it's pointless.
Yeah.
It won't work.
So before the pandemic, I used to have this exercise I would do in a group where we would, and we've done it twice, but I got this gift from one of my coach friends, Ivy Malco of Stambik, and she walks us through this very powerfully, because then she makes a fire, like a small fire pot, like the coal pot. And then you write what it is that you want to let go of.
Yeah.
And then you burn it.
And then you stand by the fireplace, you read it, and you set it ablaze.
Oh.
It's like, done. You know? Does that mean the conversation will not pop? It comes every now and then.
Of course.
But then you remind it to say, I'm done. We burnt it. Over. And over the period, just because you know you won't. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's two things. You're setting yourself free by having that liberating conversation, or you're letting go.
You let it go.
And sometimes it's forgiving yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Say,
That's a big one.
Okay, it didn't work. I messed up. So, okay.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
I like what one of my very good friends says. She says, and that's Pastor Celia P.J. Collins.
Okay.
She says, failure is an event. It's not a person.
Okay.
So,
It's something that happens.
Yeah.
Like we went to eat wache, you know. We failed. Not to eat wache, like the same way as we went to eat wache as an event.
Yeah.
We failed as an event and
we'll move. Yeah, we'll try again tomorrow.
Yeah, except that there are consequences of failure sometimes that stay, and then...
So that's when you ask yourself the question, what were the insights and what were my coping mechanisms or coping strategies? What were my bounce back strategies? You know, because those ones have happened, but in there were lessons. So what were my bounce back strategies? What did I learn from that?
From those things.
You know, and I like this one on stories we tell ourselves. So again, it's to ask, what's the one story you're willing to let go of? You know, that belief in your head that it just keeps popping up and only you hear it, but it's become a story that you have believed.
I have
that
one.
At the end of last year. I was telling one of my friends that one of the stories I've told myself over the past few years, because especially of the kind of work that we do and the team that I've always found myself, is I always felt like I'm not enough. And also because for a long time, almost the time, I'm the only woman in a team and you know, the men are here. And I'm like, I've always told myself, you know, I'm not enough. I'm not, you know, I've like, you know, and at the end of a few days ago, actually, I was like, actually, you know what? I'm a badass.
Ah, yes.
You know, and I don't
Tell me
have to
about
look
it.
like, I think we measure success or we measure who we are by how other people look, especially in a team. You know, and we don't always value people who are different or who think differently or who like to do things differently. So it sounds glam being like the non-conformist or the one who is different, but living that reality can be a little difficult. So yeah.
And I like what you said about not valuing diversity. It ties back into the conversation we had in the morning before we got here on personality differences. It's to say, yeah, this person is strong at this, and it's great, but these are the things I'm also great at. You know.
So different folks for different strokes. Different strokes for different folks,
Absolutely. So what's that one story? You think about it, and to say, is it serving me, or I need to really let it go? You know, it's and one that has come to visit me a lot recently is to say, what if it doesn't work? Because I'm starting a new project. And what if it doesn't work? And I'm like, well, I learned, but I'm the daughter of a king. I've got a very big backing behind me. Watch this space.
So what if it does work?
What if it does work?
Absolutely. You know. So what's that story? It's to identify it and begin to have counter conversations with it. You know. And then what behavior is not serving you that you want to let go? You know.
Yes, Maps.
What behavior? Oh no! This. What behavior? Yeah. Okay. For TV purposes, I think being too friendly.
For TV purposes.
One of them is being too friendly. Sorry, too friendly. It's not serving me because I think I allow a lot of people into my space and they take advantage of my energy. So I'm so friendly and I want to, you know, oh, Doreen, how are you? You know, everything okay? Well, how's home? And then you tell me all about this. And then by the end of the day, I feel so drained and nobody to actually...
Like when I'm going somewhere with Maps, a simple exercise, like walking from here to 100 meters down the road to buy cocoa. She'll have about 5 meetings. People ask them about their mothers, their fathers, their children.
I think that's one.
And I'm just looking at her like,
behavior that's
why are we doing this? Like, we just, you know.
To be fair to her, it probably says its place in the space.
It does. It definitely does.
And I'm not sure where I read this, but I know that I have seen this before. But I think what the lady said she began to do is actually to tell people. So if she's assuming you were actually going to a place with anyone, say, I'll be back around this time and we'll have that conversation so that it's not a stop.
Okay.
The fact that you've actually picked it up, this is a good place to start.
And the good thing is you have an accountability partner. So as we're walking, I'll be reminding you.
It's not, I don't want to talk about this right now. But we'll catch up later.
We'll come back.
Thing.
I'm just popping down to do this, so we'll make time and we'll have this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I like that. I like that.
That works.
So that's another reflective question. One of my absolute favorites. What keeps you? What's your best way to stay grounded? What keeps you sane?
Being broke.
Sleeping.
Absolutely.
Sleeping.
Yeah, you like sleeping.
I do.
Is that
I slept my way through through the new year. I like sleeping.
Is that your refueling activity or your grounding activity?
It's also my deflecting, and I'm not going
Coping
to deal with any of this. I'm going to sleep.
But when you wake up,
she just sometimes.
So again, it's actually to tune into yourself to say, what do I do to stay sane when the ground underneath me feels like it's moving? What do I need?
Oh, I know what I do. Yeah. Okay. So but are those different? What's your best way to stay grounded and what do you do to refuel?
Refueling for me, it's So you've come to the place where you know I've had it, I'm tired. I'm actually, for me, one trigger is I can't be creative.
Okay.
No matter how hard I try, then my body tells me I'm tired.
You're tired.
I've had enough. What do I do during that time?
So it's different. Staying grounded is different from
staying grounded. It's what keeps you sane, what keeps you firm to. So I'll give you an example to make it work. For me, the things that I do to actually stay grounded, I love to pray and meditate quite a bit.
Okay.
I also like to, I learned I think about 3 years ago, breathing exercises that draw me into myself. So like just sitting down, like nothingness.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to think that I didn't I got my energy from the crowd. But as I grew, I realized actually, actually get my energy from
just being alone.
Just me. So nothingness. So that and nothing, praying and nothingness, actually. But refueling, what gets my energy back up? I have 3 girlfriends.
Okay.
That every other month we go out. Happy New Year, Pearl. Happy New Year, Shady. Happy New Year, Franca.
Happy New Year, girls.
Yeah, so every other month we go out. And the moment we sit in an open space. We just order a bottle of wine. And we begin to check up on each other, what's happening at work, in our personal lives. And Franca is the loud-mouthed one. So she gives it to Pearl, who is another loud-mouthed one. But you were wrong.
Yeah.
You did it, so it's...
And then it's fun
It's fun.
It's a safe space.
It's a safe space.
Yeah.
So those ones for me really, really work for me.
So refueling, I was going to ask you, so refueling can be a person.
It can.
Yeah.
It can. It can be that activity that brings back the energy up. For me, another refueling activity would be watching movies.
Okay.
Oh yes, I haven't done that in a very long time. But when I do get a good movie, and the smell of popcorn in your house. It's divine. So
Extra butter. Oh, yeah.
Healthy eating.
Refueling.
We're refueling.
Wow.
Yeah, so that for me. So it's to have that conversation, to say, what do I do? What are my triggers as an individual? So that, because you can't drive your car when the tank is empty.
Yeah.
But as individuals, we do that to ourselves. We know the car will get messed up, so we do that to ourselves.
Yeah.
What do we do? And I think I picked this from Jay Shetty's On Purpose podcast. But he says, what made you feel happy? And what took joy away from you?
Oh, yeah.
And what made you feel happy so that you can do more of those?
Yeah.
And what took joy away from me is to say, what can I do to prevent those things from happening in my space?
Yeah.
Or what are my coping strategies, if I can do anything about it?
Again, this can also be people.
Yes.
Yeah.
My thing about people, what happens when they're not there? Like if I'm going to a Nima to refuel, what happens when a Nima's not there? Yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean.
You get, it's like
so the dependency.
the dependency.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But I have found, again, back to conversations on personalities, they're actually people who are wired to give that to other people.
Okay.
But then they need to find for themselves what is it that for them.
Okay.
Because whereas people draw from them, maybe for them that's not what we
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
So it's for them to find what is it for them. But on people coming and going, or people going, the song that Mama V played this morning, the motivational tune was "People come, people go."
You kind of just have to.
It is what it is.
I think the thing with with people and refueling is maybe understanding and acknowledging that the source of fuel, depending on what you believe in, is unchanging, unending, and doesn't go anywhere. Absolutely. And so, if the primary source is God, and you trust that there will always be people that are from Him.
That's
to be there for
I
you
get it.
every time and season. And I think for me, one of the biggest things I've learned about refueling from people is that at every different level of my life, the people who refuel me are different. Because capacities have changed, demons have changed. The thing, so I think it's accepting that there will always be, like maps won't always be here, for me. Yeah. But it's okay, because while she's here, we have what we have. Yeah. Trust that when she moves on to the next stage of her life, she won't be replaced, but God will bring somebody else.
Yeah.
It's like finding rest in that kind of.
And it's beautiful that you mentioned that, because as you spoke, what popped into my mind was the various fuel stations we have.
Yeah.
And depending on what destination you're going to,
You're going
you
to
drive
a
into-
different one.
Yeah.
you drive
Then depending on
into-
the ones that have reduced the prices too.
You go
Thank
to that
you.
one.
Different needs. and
what
different-
route are you
yeah,
on currently?
Yeah.
And what are the refueling stops along the way?
Yeah.
It's-
And it's also, I don't know if you've read the greatest, what's the title? The Greatest Man in Babylon, or
yes.
something like that.
Yeah.
You know, he talks about going to the right people for the right thing. So if your shoe is
Absolutely.
broken, you don't go to the goldsmith. If
Absolutely.
you're,
Yeah.
you know, so knowing who in your life
Absolutely.
is there for,
Absolutely.
you know,
Absolutely.
for what? Yeah.
Absolutely. One of my favorite friends, Taka Awori. So when I'm in that low space, I actually call out to her and I'm like, I don't know what to do to be happy. I don't know how to have fun.
Yeah.
She's like, really? She helps me reframe my thoughts.
Yeah.
And so she's that safe space for me all the time. So Happy New Year, Taka.
We're going to charge you for your Happy New Year. You've done 5 so far.
4.
Okay, 4.
Oh,
Fine. All right.
yeah.
Count it.
The three girls
3 squad and then Taka.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, how do I pay my bill? Because when you say something, I have to start billing you.
What took joy away?
What
There was
took
what
joy
took
away?
joy away.
Yeah, what made you feel most happy?
Uh-huh.
And what took joy away from you? And I like how Jay Shetty did this one in his podcast. He says because he takes a lot of pictures, he goes through his phone, his pictures to kind of recollect memories.
Okay.
I don't take a lot of pictures, so I kind of sat back to say, okay, what are those things? And I find that because I kind of write a lot, for me going through that right piece
Okay.
brings me back, so that I'm not focusing just on the now, to say throughout the year, because what you want to be able to do is to see how you can replicate those moments or those things that give you a lot of happiness. So I think, again, back to individual differences, what made you feel happy and what took joy away from you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And wins and losses.
Yes.
Yeah, what were your biggest wins? Anytime we talk biggest wins, you see the smiles on people's faces.
Oh, my biggest one is staying alive in 2021.
I don't have a win or a big win.
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, but we
do.
pulled some moves 2021, Charlie.
So let's go back to Jan and begin to
So I'd have to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd have to think about it.
Yeah.
Like hard. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I like what you said, actually staying alive,
Yeah.
surviving, and being in the mental frame to actually have this conversation alone and give back to people on a regular. I admire what you guys do, because I know that as human beings, we go through our valley moments and our peak seasons. But no matter what season the people on TV and radio are,
You see
you
the
have to psych
smile.
yourself, and you're like, it's almost like you're on a constant high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I texted Echo this morning at quarters. I was like, Charlie, I know they won't come with today. Like, I really don't want to.
I can
You know, but then
imagine. Yeah,
you
but then,
talking about biggest wins, I just want to add to what you're saying that. So if you're counting your life on a scale of 0 to 10, sometimes a biggest win can be coming back from the negative, just back to base level.
absolutely.
Yeah, and sometimes we don't celebrate that enough.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're so right. It's to say, I actually went through this, and I thought I was going to
bounced
drown,
back. Yeah.
get drowned, but I bounced back.
I'm
Yeah.
floating.
I'm floating,
Like I'm just floating.
Yeah.
I'm not swimming. I'm just
But
floating.
yeah.
But I did.
but I did.
Yeah.
So what's from now that I'm floating? What's the next? Will I cruise floating for a moment, and then when I get my energy back, I begin to swim to the shore? So what is it from here? But
Yeah.
at least I'm here.
Yeah.
You know,
That's all that
it's-
matters.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like that win. Yeah, and then I like the other one that speaks to what did you feel you failed at in 2022? We've spoken about this earlier. The lessons
The lesson.
and your bounce back strategies, so that you can. It's to celebrate yourself. To say again, I did here.
And to learn from your foolishness.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, yo,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
been here before, done this. Are you gonna do it again? Like,
Definitely not.
yo. So yeah.
Yeah, so we're still reflecting. I like this one. I got this from, I had a conversation with this young man about 3 weeks ago, and it was our first meeting. His name is Edem. And he shared these.
Shout out to Adam. No, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Adam 5. He's Adam Jobo. He's the brands manager at Payflex. And he shared his this as his reflection for 2021 with me. And I asked him, can I use it as well? And he says, oh, go ahead. But he says, what opportunities exist in what's not working in your current space? So if you think at your current space and what's not working, what are the opportunities therein?
Okay.
But then he flips the coin immediately and says, what opportunities might you be missing from dwelling on what's not working? And I thought those were two powerful questions.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. So in the mess, what's the opportunity? But what am I missing by focusing on the mess? So
Yeah.
for
Get that.
yes, for the people listening and watching as well, this would be a powerful, reflective question. I like this one on people.
Oh, God. Ooh, oh, boy.
What associations are holding you back?
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh. 3 names popped up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
A few names popped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's to have the conversation again for yourself to say, okay, this is how I'm going to approach this going forward.
Yeah.
Because you know that it's energy sapping. You know that it's not working for you. That you haven't taken action. But the flip side, what alliances and partnerships will be productive for you in 2022? And I like that so very much. One of my favorite friends says it this way. She says that oxygen on its own fuels fires.
Yeah.
You know, but when it combines with hydrogen, it's
Water.
it quenches fire.
Yeah.
So you know, what are those partnerships that you need for the next stage in your life?
That's a very good question. Yeah.
Is to have that conversation and then begin
nurturing those relationships.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or actually reaching out and starting that to say, we met at this place and you said this and you mentioned a particular book and I was wondering, can I have that and read?
I don't like getting to know new people.
Oh.
It's a big problem. I'm sorry. No. Like, I think, I don't know, how, you tell me, like when you get to a certain, I hate when I ask a question that has to do with age, but when you get past a certain, you know, is it natural to just not want to, you start new, like, it's long,
Yeah.
you know, like.
I think we get...
or is that personality?
I was going to say that, but I was going to quote something that one of my, there's a professor in psychology, and I had dinner with him in 2021, and he said, he quoted from a recent research in psychology, and he said more and more they're finding that when you hit a particular stage, often from your late 40s to 50s, you actually tune into who you originally are.
Okay.
So all those, I need to be this for this person, I need to be this, you suddenly realize, well, this is the life.
Because you see, you notice old people are very cantankerous.
Yeah.
We won't do, we won't go, we are
like whatever.
This is who
Okay,
so you actually tune into who you actually are. And so suddenly, you only want those alliances that are productive. And the key word is actually productive. So for some people, meeting new people, it's productive for them. For others, I need to be really, really deliberate. You know, and for some, the moment they sit at the table, they talk about everything from beginning to end, and you get to know them. For others, it's one question at a time. So I guess it's to know you and what works for you, so that you can use that at the table. One of my clients once said, I can't have conversations at the table when I meet new people. And I said, use the old trick that we all use. She's like, what's that? I'm like, just ask a question.
Yeah.
You know? And then get the people now to speak, instead of you thinking, okay, what do I need to talk about?
Well, what's about if you're not really interested in what they have to say?
Maybe you're in the wrong crowd.
Well, okay, maybe
Maybe you're in the wrong crowd, or maybe it's just the context, what they're talking about. It's not your kind of context.
Okay.
And the typical networking event, you move into one circle, you realize that's not it, so you move into another.
Until you find your circle.
You find your circle. And,
Yeah.
Networking is not for you.
Networking events.
I'll probably find someone in every circle. So
yeah, you would. I can't do the networking events at all.
It's like, yo, what's up? You know,
I admire people like that so much, you know, who can go to an event and go from one place. The first place, I don't want to go to the event.
Okay.
Go from one place, so it's very nice. And I experience that a lot with maps, like just, yeah.
So it's to tag along people like maps for such events,
I'll probably leave her and just sit there. Or watch The Good Doctor or something. Be like, Shall we already?
Let's go, yeah.
Or I find typically for me, it's one table. I find that the moving around, it's not me. But when I sit at one table, and even the context of the conversation it's totally outside my space. But it's just hearing people speak so passionately about something that I know nothing about.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Interesting.
Isn't that what TEDx talks are for? Which you can do.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're like, I know nothing about this.
TEDx.
Like, this is like such a new experience, such a new feeling. Yeah.
Wikipedia.
But you see, the thing is that with YouTube and TEDx, you don't have the luxury of like asking follow-up questions.
Absolutely.
Like, okay, what did you just say? What does that even mean?
You can ask Google the follow-up question.
Oh, no, that's a lot of work.
Beginning of the conversation, you said your 2-year-old was saying, your young son was saying, Wi-Fi isn't working.
Yeah.
Now we know who's using it.
Now we know. Thank you. Yeah.
But I mean, we're talking about personality differences and stuff.
Yes.
And I mean, how important, since we're talking about networking, because it comes up a lot, I mean, how important is it to go out and have these interactions? Is TEDx, YouTube, is it not enough? That's a networking event. Do you have to go out and interact with people? Like, do you have to?
I don't purposely go out to meet people, but by virtue of the work I do, I always or often find myself in circles of new people. And I find that it's in that space that my productive alliances are built. So somebody is organizing a session or a program, and I have to go give a keynote address or speak to something, or I partner another coach or trainer for a program, and I meet new people. So I can count on my fingers real networking events, as in networking that I've been to, but such programs are quite a lot. And so just getting to meet the people. Then often what I do when I get the cards or a phone number or an email, I often would drop them either a text via WhatsApp, it was great meeting you, and something like that. Some of them progress. And some of them die off naturally. Okay. But I think for me, so I think in your space, you probably meet people in your circles that work for you.
I can be completely oblivious to everybody who I meet at work. I think it's bad. I think.
So I say, I don't know if I would use bad or good. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
But I wanted to ask you something. It's a little bit off, but I want you to answer this for the women who want to date. And I know I may be taking you off a little bit, but a lot of women who have, said that, okay, 2022, we're going to start dating, we're going to find the man of our dreams, we're going to do that and all of that. But they want to do it in their homes. And I was having a conversation with one of our colleagues here, and she was talking to me, and I was like, so are you expecting this person to jump into your house and come and meet you in your house? If you can just, talk to us. I know it's a little bit off, but I also know that on the hearts and minds of many women, they're hoping to meet that someone special. How much of that finding someone special is on you, on you being willing to go out and put yourself out there? It's just, you just leave it to fate and say, my knight in shining armor will find me at Medina Market, or or something.
Yeah.
No, so I'm not a relationship expert, but I can speak to two real examples. So a few years ago, it must have been 6 years ago, I met this young lady, and I thought she was really passionate about jazz.
Okay.
About what?
Jazz.
Okay.
So there's a jazz concert, and I'm like, so one day I said, I admire your love for jazz. She says, my love for jazz. The kind of guy I want to date is somebody who loves jazz, who dresses like. So that's where I go.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, you see, the thing I was telling you that don't marry for money.
Go where money is and you find love there. Yeah.
Okay.
For her, that was her
like that.
strategy. I'm like, she's going to those places to find the kind of person. It obviously means that this young woman has taken time to think what this person is, and is going to the places where they can find them.
Okay.
So I think for those people, I would say, where is it? Who are you looking for? You know, where are they?
Where are they? So go where they are.
You won't go to the ocean or the river to fish.
Yeah.
So obviously.
But the Bible said, "He who finds a wife."
So there's a finding.
Then why do we just sit at home and be under a duvet and be found?
No.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like
That's
that.
a hidden wife. I'm just thinking, and I'm just thinking. I think that going where or having those conversations or being in places where you can be found will probably really work. That's what I think. I'm sure the relationship, maybe you can table that for a conversation at a later.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll let you run through quickly as we continue, but what we want to do is we want to open the phone lines, want to bring our viewers in, because I'm sure you have questions, you know, things you want to clarify, things you want to ask Auntie Doreen.
You just
I couldn't resist. Things that you want to ask Doreen. So call us, give us a call. The numbers are on the screen, 0302211691, 0302211692. What do you want to know from what we're talking about? You know, what are your thoughts? What are your questions? During the conversation, we'd love to have you. So whilst we're waiting to do that, we can
we flip to the goal setting bit?
Let's flip to the goal setting.
There are a few more, but we can share the questions with viewers later.
Yeah. So
but let's go to the goal setting questions. I often start the goal setting stage with 3 words. I learned this in 2007 from a guy called Chris Brogan. He's an author, and he says every year he thinks of the year he wants to have. To say, okay, what are those 3 words?
I love that.
Yeah. And I found it really powerful. So I've been practicing it since 2007.
Okay. I know my 3 words. Money.
That's all. That's all.
So reminds me of a conversation I had with my daughter. I'm like, we're taking the love language quiz. And I'm like, she said, I don't need to. I know my love language. Money. I said, yeah, but there's a secondary. Money.
Tertiary. Money. Thank you.
You know, and he says that these 3 words are often words that guide your actions and choices in the coming year. So if you think of 2022 and the kind of year you want to have, and this calls for us to reflect on actually what kind of year we want to have.
I love that.
What 3 words will guide my choices and actions on a day-to-day basis?
Career, money, and relationships.
So the bit on money, so the words have to be actionable.
Okay.
What are actionable words? Give us some examples.
So I will use, for me, breathe this year is one of my words.
Okay.
So breathe.
To breathe. I want to remind myself throughout the year in my actions and my choices to breathe.
Yeah. So bam bam would be
yeah.
Want to bam bam? You want to chill with the big boy? Yeah. You go get the bam bam.
Okay. Work.
Okay.
Work. Yeah. Let's leave it there for now. Work.
So that's my first. My second is impact.
Impact. Okay.
Impact. Influence.
Yeah.
The 3 I's. Hey. Impact, influence, income.
Hey.
But you people want to chill with the big boys. Should we speak to Raymond just as we're doing this? Hi, Raymond. Good morning. Oh, we lost Raymond. Okay. So please call us 0302-211-691 or 692. Call us and be part of this conversation. We'd love to have you. So pick your 3 words.
Yeah. So mine, it's breathe. It's impact, and I'm struggling with the third. I still haven't decided.
Okay.
I've thought of package, I've thought of act, and I've thought of brand.
Okay.
So I'm still thinking what the third one is, but those 2 I'm definitely sure. I'm going full time into what used to be a side hustle.
Okay.
Yeah, and so for me, it's breathe, because I tend to be one who just keeps going. Like, I'm afraid to get off the treadmill.
Okay.
FOMO, they call it FOMO, right? Fear
of missing out.
I just keep going. But I want to remind myself throughout the year. So it's accepting that not every client is mine and things like that.
Okay, so should we talk to Rosalind?
Absolutely.
And then, hi, Rosalind. Good morning.
Hello?
Oh, hi. That's not Rosalind. Hello. What's your name?
I'm called Martin, calling from Water Region.
Okay, hi. What's up? What's on your mind?
Oh, I want to thank your resource person this morning. It's blessing me. You know, sometimes we just do statistics. Hello?
Yes, we're listening to you.
Hello?
Hi, we're listening to you.
Yeah, I am blessed by the resource person.
Amen. Thank you
Sometimes
so much.
we just encounter certain silly and then we relax. So I would like to encourage her to give us more so that we can also move ahead in this year.
Okay.
And
Thank
finally,
you so
I want
much.
her contact number so that we can have access to her.
Okay, sure. We'll put out her information and when we're done with this segment on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anyone, you are doing well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a fantastic new year. Okay, so do we have Rosalind?
Yes, please. Rosalind
Hi,
online.
Rosalind. Hello, good morning.
Hello,
Happy New Year.
Anymore.
Hi,
Hello,
Happy New Year.
Anymore. Today I'm so happy to speak to you.
Oh, I'm so happy to speak to
Yes,
you too.
I've always been listening to your voice.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So what's on your mind?
Actually, 2022 has just begun. Yes, and we have a lot to do. As one of your panel members said, it is too early to make decisions. I will take our time and give ourselves a month and put our plans together and see what is ahead of us. But it's good, your English program every morning. That is what I always encourage. It is really, really important to me and my kids.
Oh, thank you so much.
Keep doing the good work you've been doing.
Thank you so much.
Keep doing the good work.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you
so
very much. And Happy New Year to you all.
Happy New Year to you too, Rosalind.
Thank you.
Oh, I know, right? Phone lines are still open, 020-2211-691 or 692. Okay, so should we go on?
Yes. So we've spoken about the 3 words.
Yeah.
You didn't mention your 3 words.
Because I haven't, apart from I want to bum and chill with the big boys. And when I say big boys, I don't mean like chill with men. I'm talking about like chilling with the millionaires, like bumming with the millionaires. Not as in like bumming, I'm a woman, they're a man, but like business deals and like bossing them around and telling them that yo.
One of the words, can deal be a word?
Deal.
Yeah.
Deal.
Deals.
Yes.
Deal.
Yeah.
No running kitty.
Yeah, no. So deals. Okay.
Yeah.
So
deal.
you write those 3 words and you put it at a place where you can actually see them on a daily.
Yeah.
Some put it as a screensaver.
Yeah.
Others as a background in for their desktop.
Their laptops.
But just make sure that you're interacting with those words throughout the year. It's breathe, it's impact, it's package, brand, it's influence, it's income. Just think your 3 words and stay with it, because when we come to reflect, God willing, end of this year, we'll go back to those 3 words.
Let me talk to Edmund quickly. Hi, Edmund. Good morning. Edmund. Edmondo. Edmund, are you there? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Edmund. Okay, so what's on your mind? Good morning. Welcome. Happy New Year.
Hello.
Hi.
It's my first time seeing you, right? Yes, I'm there.
Okay, hi. Hello.
Hi. I said it's my first time seeing you.
Oh, really?
Yes, I've been listening to you most of the time on radio.
Oh.
And you've inspired me. I've never seen your face before.
Oh, thank
I
you so much.
learned a lot from you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So,
Thank you so
2022, we'll keep hope alive, and I know it is well.
Indeed.
It is well. In fact, your voice alone.
Hey, Edmund.
Okay, Edmund.
Oh.
Edmund, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Really
too.
appreciate it.
Thank you
Happy
too.
New Year. Let's keep hope alive. Yeah, I like that. Let's keep hope.
Impact, influence is what I'm hearing come for you.
Bum.
Yeah,
bum.
right.
We want to bum. Okay, so there's Osman. Maps, you want to take this?
Osman, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
How are you, sir?
I'm grateful.
All right, so 2022, what are your plans for this year?
Yeah. COVID has come to our way.
COVID has come.
COVID, we are still in the midst of COVID. And what I can see now is, may the good Lord give us the strength, and then contact their gone souls. Thank you.
Thank you very much. May the good Lord give us strength indeed. But now let's talk about areas of life important to you.
Yeah, so part of the goal setting for 2022, after you've come up with the 3 words, I want our listeners and viewers to take so if you're using a journal, fine, but to list, if you think of your life, and you think of the areas important to you, what would those areas be? I just want them to list them out.
Okay.
After they've listed them out, I'll take us through a very simple goal-setting strategy on these areas. So what are those words for you? They are common ones that I see on a regular basis, and those ones often are finances, emotions, fun and recreation, learning, career, business, health and fitness, personal development, contribution, community, relationships, love. Yeah.
Love.
What's love got to do with it?
Oh.
We are looking for money.
But a second-hand emotion.
Family.
Yeah,
Family.
Yeah, so people list different areas, but I would just ask our viewers to list those ones that are important to them. For me this year, top on the list, fun and adventure.
Fun and adventure.
Or recreation. Let's just start with recreation, fun and recreation.
Sleep is recreation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Staying at home watching Netflix is recreation.
For me, sleep would be one. Netflix, maybe every now and then. But going out actually is one of them.
All right.
So those
Going
would be
out. Okay, let me talk to Raymond and then we'll come and finish up. So Raymond is going to be my last caller for this morning. Hi, Raymond.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Happy New Year.
Good morning. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Thank you. So what's on your mind? Raymond.
Yeah, hi. Good morning.
Hi, what's on your mind?
Happy New Year to you. Dear.
Happy New Year to you too.
You're looking good this morning.
Thank you so much. What's on your mind, Raymond?
Yeah. Hello, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. I just want us to look at this networking. Yes, and with the networking, sometimes networking is all about getting to know people and then liaising with them, so that at least, as you put it, where there are connections and deals, you could really be getting those kind of connections. But then, until you are able to get to that connection where you can really be able to link that, it takes some time. And the time that it will take you to really create that contact, sometimes it takes too long, and it kind of, because of the time it will take and what you need to put in to really make that impact. Along the way, there's a break of communication due to busy schedules here and there. How do we really get that connection, that social networking working effectively?
Okay, so how do we bridge the gap between your busy schedule and trying to network with other people? That's your question, right?
Yes, please.
All right. So, I totally get Raymond, because it's like I have like friends like all over the world, and I'm trying to, see this one or talk to this one, book a FaceTime with this one, but also I'm at work, I woke up at dawn, and I also want to sleep. So how do I maneuver around this, but to make sure that I have meaningful conversations or relationships with my people?
And I think that's a powerful question, I'll answer it from a professional networking perspective,
okay,
but also from a personal life perspective. So for those that are in your professional networking bracket or bucket, there are a number of tools that help us do that. I mean, it's getting finding some research, depending on where you went to, and what you know interests you. So for me, things that are really, really of interest to me will be anything around personality and self-leadership.
Okay.
So if I found something on that, I'll take probably the quote or the article and share in a broadcast format to say, hey, I found this and I thought you'd be interested in that. That's from a very professional perspective.
Okay.
But there are those ones in that bracket that you want to nurture a personal relationship with. And that takes a very different strategy. Sometimes actually meeting them at an event that they would be to say, the person says, oh, I'm not available, but I'm facilitating this program on this time. If you don't mind, we can have coffee after the event, or we can have lunch together. Yeah. And those ones work. So I don't think there's one strategy to say this is it, but like anything, what you don't till or what you don't cultivate will die.
Will die.
You know,
so I have some really good news for our viewers, I think more especially. We kind of just thought we really don't want to rush through, all the work that you're showing to us and stuff. So we would love to have you back tomorrow. So that we're not rushing through the growth and the setting goals. Okay. So that then we can, use the time to really focus
on the reflective.
And I think that it's been so great. I'm going to spend some time today with the questions and stuff, and it's we're grateful.
We're grateful.
We're grateful.
So we're grateful for Doreen.
Yeah, we're grateful.
And her knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
And for having her on the air.
And for your time.
Yes.
Thank you. And I learned. So a few years ago, I when somebody shared their gratitude, the gift of gratitude to me, I wasn't sure how to respond. Like, okay, what do I do? Yeah. But then I learned this from somebody else I really admire. And she said, I gracefully accept that.
Oh,
and I'm like,
I gracefully accept that.
I gracefully accept that gratitude.
That's
Thank
really
you so
nice.
much.
I would really say thank you for seeing me.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
too.
thank you.
Yeah. I'll borrow that as well. Thank you for having me, and thank you for. I gracefully accept your compliments.
We gracefully, All right, guys. So that's it for this conversation. But we will continue tomorrow because we want to have an amazing. We want to bam. Yeah, 2022. So